If people keep buying goods directly from China, it could push the economy into stagflation even sooner.
And there it is. I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting for the other sellers to get jealous and start reaching out. Hey, look at my quality. My quality is way better than the other guys that you've been hitting up. But how can it be if it's all the same production line and it's all the official Louis Vuitton production line? It should just be all the same quality so that quality control would match up. But no, it's not, because they're counterfeiters and some people are better than the other ones.
90 cents, 90 cents, 90 cents, 90 cents.
Right now, the market's a bit freaked out. They thought Trump would stop with all this trade policy, make a deal with China. Instead of making a deal with China, he made the situation much more freakish. He basically put now 245% tariffs on China, and he also inviting 70 countries to join America.
What is up, YouTube? My name is Happiness and welcome to my channel. So we're gonna continue with this China-America trade war, but despite that, we're gonna look at more of these Chinese suppliers as they still are busy exposing all these European luxury brands. So yes, as you can see, I'm also dripped out. I'm dripped out, as you can see. I don't know where this one is from. Maybe it might be Vietnam, China. This one it's made in Italy.
Wow.
But maybe you never know. It might be made in China. But yeah, I bought it somewhere online. So yeah, maybe it might come from China. You never know, but it says come from Italy. So despite that, we're gonna look through these videos to which we try to get to see where we can get these stuff for a cheaper price and which places to look in order to get a real deal from these Chinese suppliers. So let's continue with this China exposing all these luxury brands. So let's check this video out.
And there it is. I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting for the other sellers to get jealous and start reaching out. Hey, look at my quality. My quality is way better than the other guys that you've been hitting up. But how can it be if it's all the same production line and it's all the official Louis Vuitton production line? It should just be all the same quality so that quality control would match up. But no, it's not, because they're counterfeiters and some people are better than the other ones.
90 cents, 90 cents, 90 cents, 90 cents. All these pants are only 90 cents. I'm a clothing supplier in China, so I'm not kidding you. And the quality is very good. Look at the fabric and details. You can sell $5 or even $10 in your country, but the last 3,000 pieces are only sold for 90 cents. If you're interested, please tell me. I will send you all the styles.
Dear sisters, do you know that just contact with me?
If people keep buying goods directly from China, it could push the economy into stagflation even sooner. Right now, consumers are winning because they're getting Lululemon and handbags for very cheap, but this will actually handcuff the Fed even more so. This is what we call a supply shock type of inflation, one of the toughest economic climates to manage. So here's how it's currently playing out. All of the spending that is happening right now direct from China is actually harming GDP, because that is not being measured as consumer spending. That is being measured as imports. And the higher the imports, the wider your trade deficit. And so consumer spending is actually falling because of this. Not only that, business profits are also falling because these sales that are happening, it's not hitting on local US retailers or businesses. It's benefiting those abroad in China. And so your consumer spending is lower, business profits are lower, and your trade deficit is actually widening. So that's the slowing economy part. What about inflation? As I mentioned, what is happening right now is going to lead to supply shock inflation. It's not because of increased wages. It's not because of increased input prices, like gas prices aren't going up. The cost of getting goods, is not going up. What is happening is consumers are buying direct from the source. And that is a type of inflation that is very hard to manage. It'll take Jerome Powell convincing everyone here to stop buying direct from China. And what will ultimately happen is, to manage that, the US actually may have to increase tariffs. They can't do that because inflation is already high. Doing so will increase inflation even more so. So really the only way to stop this all from happening is for this whole trade war to end. So guys, keep doing what you're doing because it is helping.
Right now, the market's a bit freaked out. They thought Trump would stop with all this trade policy, make a deal with China. Instead of making a deal with China, he made the situation much more freakish. He basically put now 245% tariffs on China, and he also inviting 70 countries to join America in fully blockading any of China's trades. So he's asking countries like Vietnam, Malaysia to basically agree to not let Chinese goods go through their ports. So China can't even send stuff through these ports. Market's freaked out. Nvidia dropped 10% yesterday, and you know that's the number one stock on the Nasdaq right now. Everyone was waiting for Jerome Powell, Federal Reserve President, to come in and save the day. And what did Jerome Powell do? He did something, it's a little bit unbelievable. He basically stuck it to Trump. He just said, no, we're not saving the markets. There's no Fed put anymore. And look at this, market reacted very badly. The odds of no rate cut has shot up, and then only a 12% chance of a rate cut by May the 7th. And even if we go to June, which is 2 months from now, still a 30% chance no rate cut. On the surface, Jerome Powell is basically saying that he's saying stagflation. He's actually saying because of the Trump tariffs, we expect inflation to be bad and we expect growth to be bad. So you've got high inflation but bad growth. So in other words, you've pretty much got stagflation, which is when you have recession or almost zero growth and you've got high inflation. So of course he's got a great excuse not to be able to hike rates. But I believe he's also got a personal vendetta because he's representing all the big bankers, and most of the big bankers don't quite like Trump. And here's the thing, Trump don't like him either. In fact, Trump and his US Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, have openly said they want to replace him. Now, his term finishes around, I think, May or April next year. But Trump and Bessent wants to start picking his replacement by August this year. And you might say, oh yeah, they can't physically, they don't have the right. Trump does not have the legal right to replace Jerome Powell, the Fed president. No, he doesn't. But him and Bessent could pick a guy that he could puppet and control and basically make him talk about, oh yeah, I'm going to cut interest rates. First day I'm going to cut interest rates. And that's going to undercut the Federal Reserve's message. Everyone's like, okay, there's Jerome Powell. He's got like another few months left. But this is a new guy who's going to be in for at least another 4 or 5 years. We should all listen to this guy. Jerome Powell, whatever he says, he's going to be gone. He's going to be gone in a few months. But this is the new guy. This is the new Grand Poobah for the next 5, 6 years, whatever it is. We should all listen to him. So of course that pisses off Jerome Powell. He's just not rescue of the markets. So we can't depend on the Federal Reserve unless there's a big crash in the US bond market.
The Chinese takedown of luxury goods is wild right now because luxury goods are a huge source of soft power for the West. Soft power is power through things like culture, music, even language. Like US TV shows, that's a form of soft power because it makes the US aspirational and desirable in some ways. So with luxury brands, Fendi, Prada, Gucci, these Birkins, it creates this aspiration for the West, or aspiration to be European in a way, showing that Europe is this gold standard of quality. But when China's revealing that 80% of anything you buy that's Gucci is made in China, that over 60% of anything that you buy from Prada is made in China, that the only difference is that they send it over to Europe and then they stitch on a made in France or made in Italy little label. It's the ultimate pulling the curtain on the wizard in The Wizard of Oz and showing that there actually is no real magic and power in the person who's controlling Oz. I think it's going to be really interesting because there is such a stigma of something that's made in China. There's this perception of lesser quality in the West, but when you reverse that paradigm, when you show that all these goods that you thought were better because they came from Italy or France or wherever, when actually, in actuality, it comes from China, you're forcing consumers to reckon with why they make choices. So if consumers are going to start questioning the perceived worth of luxury goods, consumers are going to then realize that luxury brands are just high markup middlemen. They're just peddling an idea of something versus an actual quality good. And you can just then cut them out and go to the source. And so I think what China is doing right now, by shifting this perception of soft power, by taking back soft power by showing real power in infrastructure and manufacturing, we're going to see a real flip in a lot of things, whether it comes to labor market, whether it comes to manufacturing, whether it comes to who buys luxury goods and perception of luxury as well. And so, I don't know, I'm just in it for the ride here.
All right, y'all, we got clothes and shoes plugs. Now it's time for the watches, jewelries, chains, and everything in between. They own the screen. They do everything, even to the customs. Man, like, that's just one piece. Pick one, you know? And then let me know how I go.
The silk supply for
China's exposed the whole market. I'm going to show you step by step on how to buy from China. The first step, what you want to do is go on the App Store or Android Store and download the Joygu app. And make sure when you're signing up and entering your details, put this code in for your extra shipping coupons. Now that you've made your account, you're going to see the search bar on the home screen. This is where you can enter any link you want and the shipping agent will buy it for you. For example, if you go on Taobao and copy and paste the link, you can easily buy it and just select the size and color and whatever. However, I've made your life easy and I've made a whole spreadsheet of every single popular item neatly organized in one sheet for you. So once you've bought your product, it will say purchased and then seller sent and then stored in warehouse. Once the item's stored in the warehouse, the agents will take pictures for you. Then you can decide if you want to ship out your item. So if you're happy with your item, go on the warehouse, select it, and then press ship. Here's where you select your home address where you want to ship to. And once it shows the payment methods, you can easily select the coupon and job done.
Where can one go for one-stop shopping for everything interior design in China? First, Longjiang Town in Foshan City. Over 70% of the furniture in the world is produced here, and also one of the largest hub for construction material. Second, Guzheng Town in Zhongshan City. 50% of the lathes in the world, 90% of the lathes on the Amazon are produced in this town. The distance between these two towns is only an hour drive. If you want to purchase any furniture in your construction projects, please contact us. Baozhan, make business strong.
Okay, thank you guys for watching my channel. Please like and subscribe, and yes, the channel is still growing little by little, day by day, but yeah, just keep on doing it, and please let's come back to the next one, and peace out.